Welcome, everybody. How's everybody doing this evening? Sorry, I'm looking at something. I'm trying to look up something here, and sorry we come on a little bit late. We were waiting around. Hopefully, some other people will join in at some point in time, but we haven't heard from anybody. So we'll be
entertain you.
Yeah, bull crapping for a little while. But tonight I put the topic up, Chat GPT, or excuse me, we were going to talk about AI a little bit, and I brought up on Chat GPT. I thought, well, I'm really bad at intros, obviously, if you just notice. And
we have more co-hosts in the chat than we do for us. We got Mr. Dan and Sydney coming in.
How's it going?
Hey, Mr. Dan.
Thank you. You know what? To have you on sometime soon. How you doing, Sydney? Thanks for showing up. But what I was going to say is I brought up on ChatGPT some intros that I could say, and a couple of them are not bad. I just asked ChatGPT, what would be a good intro for basically for a movie podcast or a movie, live stream. So let's see here. One of them I thought was really good. It said, from in-depth reviews and behind-the-scenes insights to fun movie trivia and industry news, we're here to keep you entertained and informed. I thought that was pretty good. And
yeah,
a little cheesier one is, so grab your popcorn, sit back, and join us on this cinematic journey. Excuse me. And one of them is just, let's get started. Whether you're a blockbuster buff, an indie film aficionado, or just love a good story, we've got you covered.
There's our tagline right there. We've got you covered.
Yeah, absolutely. So me and Kenny were just talking about Donald Sutherland a little bit, about his passing today. I always hate to see people pass away, but he was getting up there. How old was he? 89? 89? 88? Okay.
Apparently he's been sick for a while. And yeah. I like when they don't, like, they advertise that they're sick.
Yeah.
What can you do? But the first movie I ever seen Donald Sutherland in, I think everybody my age has seen, was Animal House, where he was the teacher in Animal House.
Yes. I was looking back through his stuff here. Let me see. Let me share this with everybody, and so everybody can see it too.
Sydney and Dan, what are your first thoughts or memories of Donald Sutherland? Did you guys see him first in Animal House like me?
He's in a lot of stuff starting in 1962, it looks like.
62, wow.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm not familiar with all this stuff. The World 10 Times Over. He's just, some of these roles are just like stand-in kind of spots, it looks like. But
they could be
The Living Dead.
Oh, there you go. Dan brought up what you were talking about, John.
Yeah.
MASH.
Yeah. Yeah, I was telling Kenny earlier, I like his Hawkeye Pierce better than what was his name? Sorry.
Alan Alda.
Alan Alda, yeah. I'm bad about that. Sorry. Yeah, I like his Hawkeye better than Alan Alda. Because I think he almost plays Hawkeye like Hunter S. Thompson almost. He's like kind of this, almost like a laid back druggie, almost like this type of character. and Alan Alda is a little more clean cut version of it. More of a clean cut ladies' man, I guess.
Oh, okay. Dan said Dirty Dozen on TV with my dad. I forgot he was in the Dirty Dozen.
Yeah. Let's see here. What else? Trying to see the first thing.
The other one that I seen him in that I really liked, and his son, that was his son's first movie, was a movie called Max Dugan Returns with Marsha Mason. Say that 5 times quick. and a young Matthew Broderick. Jason Robards is Marsha Mason's dad, and he comes back. That's such a great movie. I always thought that was a Disney movie because my mom had us watch that. Like, we had the VHS tape, and we watched that like all the time. Max Dugan Returns.
Yeah, he was in Kelly's Heroes too.
Yeah. Another one of my favorites he did was in the 90s was Space Cowboys with Clint Eastwood and Jim Garner.
Yeah.
That movie never gets talked about a lot, but that movie is really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, Mr. Dan. It was on cable all the time. Yeah. I was so jealous of Matthew Broderick because we were like the same age at that time, and it was just like, well, we still are. Well, no, he's older than me, but he had got the all the Atari cartridges and the Atari, and we had ours like on a little 13-inch TV, and he had it on a projection TV, so he could play Pac-Man and Space Invaders. That's where my 12-year-old mind went at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, another one was Eye of the Needle. Eye of the Needle is a great film with Kate Nelligan.
Well, what year was that? I didn't pay attention.
I want to say 82.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. Crackers. I've seen that. Yeah, that's I've seen this one, but I can't. What is it?
Sydney said, my favorite movie from him was Don't Look Now, Ordinary People. That's a great film. Depressing as hell, but a great movie. JFK, A Time to Kill, Outbreak. I forgot he was in Outbreak.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's X in JFK. Yeah. That's another one I forgot. Yeah. And that's
he was good in Disclosure, too. That's another one that gets really falls down. And Fallen. Yeah, I forgot he was in Fallen. He's like one of those actors where you think you see him like in every movie, and then when he shows up in one, it's like, wow, it's like a real treat, you know? I know there was one that was making the rounds in the Dollar Trees before they stopped selling them, was American Dresser, and that was a very good movie.
Yeah. Let's see, 80. It's looking for Eye of the Needle here. Yeah, Eye of the Needle, 81.
81, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a rental staple, Eye of the Needle. That was also, like Dan said, on cable all the time. Yeah, I just watched Dan's channels, Mr. Dan Horror.
That sounds pretty cool. Yeah.
You gotta check out his reviews. I like when he does, because he had me watch. Not that he personally said, "Kenny, you gotta watch this," and rub my nose into it, but I was like infatuated with the movie Dynamo. He does Kung Fu Theater on Mondays on his channel.
Yeah.
So I watched Dynamo today. It's on the Tubi, not a sponsor yet. Come on, Tubi. But I watched that on Tubi, and that was a great movie. That girl in that movie was smoking hot in Dynamo.
What is it?
It's
or something like that?
Yeah, it's sort of like Dan's doing on his channel a Bruce it wasn't Bruce Lee. It was like right after he passed away that like all these Bruce L.I.s or Bruce L.E.I.s came out. Yeah. Bruce exploitation, whatever that word
got that.
is. Yeah. So
he got that box set, the Game of Clones.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he I think he got that one from Dark Side Records. I'm not really sure. Well, anyway, this movie is this woman hires this guy that looks exactly. I mean, he looks exactly like Bruce Lee. It was crazy, and he's a cab driver. And he goes and he just like starts beating the shit out of everybody, and then and then he hooks up with this one girl, Oh my God, she was like stunning. It was the movie was made in 1978. Yeah, there you go. I know the French girl in the movie. Yes, smoking hot. That shower scene was excellent. Yeah, but yeah, she was really hot. She was worth the price of admission right there. But I really enjoyed that movie. I like when we grew up because Dan's from the Philadelphia area too. He's in New Jersey, and Channel 48 always had the kung fu movies on.
Was that her?
On the weekend. I don't think that's her. Dan, that's not her. I forget. Yeah, he was in great shape for Dynamo. I don't know the girl. She was a French actress. That girl that you showed, she was the executive that hired the guy that he was a taxi driver. But yeah, that dude pissed me off in that because like she's like getting a bath and stuff, like and she's like great and stuff, and he's like doing all kinds of exercises like 1-arm push-ups and 2-arm push-ups. I'm like, dude, look what's in front of you. Stop with the stupid exercise. And he's got like veins popping out, like like crazy and stuff from like working out. I'm like, dude, look what's right in front of you, pal.
It's like Bill Hicks talking about. He talked about going to where he's traveling comedian. He's always seeing like the softcore porn, and they always had in hotel rooms. And he's like, I'm tired of seeing the Harry, Bob, and man ass. I don't. She's the only girl in here with a picture.
Yeah, like I said, yeah, that wasn't her though.
Well, I mean, this is like probably present day. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, but you got it. The movie is on Tubi.
Yeah,
John, check it out. It's good. It will not bore you. It was really good. The fight scenes were really good.
That's strange. Well, she's not mentioned on here. I might have to try to get that box set eventually. Probably got to get it now because it
will probably
immediately out of print. Quick. Yeah. For some reason, it's weird with the things that people. A lot of times, the way they promote this stuff, people have no interest. Who have absolutely no interest in this stuff, they immediately buy.
Right.
They just have to buy it just to have it. It's weird.
Because I was Sydney and Dan. I was telling John that I go on the Whatnot all the time. I highly recommend Whatnot. And there's like sellers on there that are just basically wanting to give away these movies. Because I was on Seller last night, and it was 2 for $1 on DVDs. And it was like I was telling John, these were like he bought them from an estate sale. Yeah, Mr. Dan said it's very self-aware. Bruceploitation. That's it. Thanks, Dan. Yeah. But yeah, that Whatnot. It's now I know how people get addicted to drugs because you keep on going on there, and it's like, oh, let's see what this guy's got. Hey, let's see what this person's got. So it's like, yeah, it's really, really good stuff that you got because I think, and plus he did 2 for $1, and then he was giving you 20. Then he was giving you 20% off on your purchase at the end. So it was like.
Hey, Lauren, what's going on?
Hi, how are you guys?
Hi, Lauren.
Doing good.
Thank you.
Sorry, we're kind of short some people tonight, so we're just kind of bull crapping right now.
Okay. Are they joining later or just just a couple
I
of
have
us?
no idea. I haven't heard from anybody just yet. Oh yeah,
Oh.
Jody's coming. Might be about it tonight. Katie couldn't come tonight, and Charlie's not coming either. So
Got it.
Yeah.
I miss Jody, so that would be nice to get to integrate with that.
Yeah.
So, what were you guys talking
But the-
about? Sorry, I interrupted your conversation.
no, it's
Oh,
all right.
no.
We didn't have anything serious going on. We were talking about Donald Sutherland passing away today
Okay.
or yesterday,
Yeah.
and we talked
I
about
was
some of his movies.
hmm I saw that he passed at age 88, so he got a nice long life. But yeah, it's still sad to see him go. So
What was the first movie that you remember him being in that you seen?
I don't know if it's not the first one, but the one that I think of him first is Hunger Games. I was a big Hunger
Oh,
Games.
okay.
I read the books, and then like kind of like Harry Potter, like the movies came right after the books, and him being like the president and stuff. That's where I know him the most from. But I'm sure I've seen him in a bunch of things. But that's where I know him from. You know.
Are the books
Yeah.
more in detail with the Hunger Games? Because my niece has read like all the Harry Potter books, so they know them like inside and out, and they will pick stuff from the movies that aren't in the books. Is that sort of like Hunger Games?
5,000% yes.
Who
Oh,
thought
okay.
it was 8:30? Who thought it was 8:30? I did.
Yeah, I lost at my rereading of Harry Potter after this, so I've reread those books. It feels like so definitely they books are definitely more like explanatory. There's more detail, all that kinds of stuff. You get more like inside the character's head, stuff like that. And Hunger Games is no exception. So, and there's only 3, I believe, right? Yeah, there's only 3. So, whereas Harry Potter's a lot more substantial. But yeah, definitely, I would agree that there's just more detail, more like nuance. You get a little bit more of a character. I mean, even Snowden, which is the gentleman that we're talking about that's passed, that he plays, that you just get a little bit more of his character as well. But hey, Jamie, how are you? Or Jody, sorry.
What's up?
Yeah, we were talking about Donald Sutherland a little bit, and
Yeah, that was some
That's what I
sad
made.
shit.
I know.
Yeah. just kind of asking Lauren, what's the first movie you remember him from?
Yeah, and I brought up Hunger Games, and then that's when we were talking about like books, and like I'm a big Harry Potter fan. Like I
Yeah.
read the series like what feels like a million times. When I was younger, I was I had a few friends, but not a bunch, and my first 3 friends were Harry, Ron, and Hermione. So I got to hang out with them a lot. I read the series a bunch, so I did like the midnight showings and all that kinds of stuff. So,
Oh, dang, you went all out.
oh yeah, oh you don't even know. I was decked out. I had my like Hogwarts costume already. Like I saw someone that had glued a head wig on their shoulder. Like I'm just it.
You
I was
dress
the
up,
golden
who would
age.
ever thought?
What?
I said, you dress up, who would ever thought?
Oh yeah,
Here you
I
go.
know. I hate dressing up, clearly. But yeah, definitely that was always my thing. I loved it. And I even like had the book. It's like let's say it was like Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I was finishing Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets as I was like sitting in line. Like I had
Wow.
needed to be on my memory. Like
It was fresh on your mind, all the stuff they left out.
exactly. I was very much that person. Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, so to answer your question, like Hunger Games, yeah, it definitely does provide a lot more information. I wouldn't say like to the extent of Harry Potter, but it does provide more like character development, you know, more just like extra details that I personally found very interesting, which is why like I like reading them and then watching the movies. So I mean, same with Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, stuff like that, where it's like you get a lot, but like if you are to actually read the source material, you're going to get a lot more.
Yeah.
Like that's the case with almost anything. So
Yeah, Lord of the Rings is a big. It's a pretty big different. It's a different experience though.
Mhm.
The way it's because he wrote each storyline like separate. So you like read the Frodo and Sam's storyline, but then you read the Fellowship storyline. It's separate. After it breaks apart, it goes separate. It's kind of crazy, but it's
yeah,
really good.
I agree. I mean, I had a conversation with a friend recently about The Hobbit. Like,
Yeah.
so, like The Hobbit, it's like this size of a book. It's
Yeah.
it's a great book. It does not need to be thrown into 3 different movies.
Nah.
What were we doing? What were we doing with that? Like, the first movie, it's basically just the first 2 chapters. What are we doing? We're
Yeah.
just burning money at this point. Like
We got. There's another one coming, isn't it? Didn't they just announce another one?
they are not.
Mm-hmm. It's
a Hobbit movie.
no, it's a Gollum story.
Um,
Yeah. Apparently, there's some, and I never read the books, sadly, but there's some character that's pretty damn important throughout the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit that they never included, and so everybody's excited because they said they're going to include him. I wish I had the name.
Like Tom Bombadil.
Yeah, I think that's it. They're actually going to include him in this story, and so everybody's kind of excited because he had a pretty important role apparently in the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, but they just kind of glossed over him.
Yeah, it was just a choice they made. He didn't. Ultimately, I don't think that character added much to the storyline, or at least they. It's just one of those things they decided to omit. It wasn't that important.
I've seen arguments both ways. Some people are just like all team him, and it's just like God. They didn't.
Oh yeah.
It's like calm down. I don't even know what y'all are talking about right now, but I'm sure they'll fix it eventually. As many extended editions as we've gotten, they'll probably just AI them in somewhere.
Well, and just that's just going by what the filmmaker said. You know, that's what Peter Jackson talked about when they wrote it. They were just like, it's not as he was just not pivotal enough to leave in. He was a person they felt that they could remove and it wouldn't affect the flow of the story.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, we're getting them, so we'll see.
Yeah. Well, as long as we don't get any more of the Lord of the Rings or the one on
the Rings of Power,
Amazon Prime. Yeah, Rings of Power.
Oh, I haven't even experienced that yet.
I'm actually cautiously optimistic about season 2. I did not like season 1 because of the main character. I forget her name, but she was a bit obnoxious. But it looks like season 2 is going to be more about like world building and like some like war and like just action and stuff like that. So
nice.
I have a feeling it might be better, but there was a lot of hate for season 1 as well. Like looking back and reflecting, okay, like it wasn't as bad as everyone was saying it was. Like it wasn't good, in my personal opinion, but I think that season 2 has a lot of potential. So that's my 2 cents.
Oh, the dishwashing scene, the Hobbit was epic. Yeah. The first it just needed to be. I mean, if they're going to make it, just need to be 2 movies because essentially, after the desolation of Smaug, at the beginning of the 3rd movie, that's the end of the book, essentially.
Yeah, but that's. If I may, I was just going to say like that's one of the reasons why I felt like it being chopped up into 3 movies is so ridiculous because the first movie, as I read the book, and so the first movie is essentially the first 2 chapters, literally, like just there's the dinner right before they go on their adventure, and that was the entire first movie. I'm like, that could have been 30 minutes, and you could have it could have been 2 parts. Like, what are you doing? So I just like I felt like they were really just trying to like string it out like Laffy Taffy. Like,
Yeah, it's probably been about 10 years 20 years since I've read it, but Jesus Christ, 20 years since I've read it. And it's like, there's not much after Smaug's killed. There's not, I don't remember there even being a real much about the journey home. I think it is, but it's not much there. The book kind of ends like right after that.
I agree.
Oh,
Yeah, the
yeah.
primary bit of like the ending is that there's the Smaug, and I feel like there's like a joyous like dance sequence or something towards the end, and then after that, like you just kind of are reassured that they get back home, and there's no like trek back. It's just like, oh yeah, and everyone's back home and everything's good. The end. That's it. Like, but I really loved in the sense of the book. I really loved like the middle part from like them departing and then finding Smaug. That there was a lot of like adventure that happened in there, and I feel like that was another thing that I didn't like about the movies is that I felt like they felt like they needed to add like elves and stuff where unless I'm wrong, I don't believe that there were like elves or higher elves or whatever like in the original book. So like they felt like they just needed a Legolas really bad.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't think there was any.
Yeah.
I can't remember though. It's like I'm saying, it's been a while, but it's a very short book, so there's not much really in there.
Yeah, it was mostly just like just trekkage, right? Like just trying to like find your way. Like there wasn't like in the movies they fall into like this elvish trap and then they become part of like conversing with elves and stuff like that. And again, like I just felt like they really needed, it's like there's no Legolas in this. Like we need a Legolas. Like
yeah.
Like so it felt unnecessary. And you know, like good for the actors. I'm glad for them to have their roles, but at the same time, like I just didn't feel like that was necessary. And just like I'm very much a stickler for the source material. So like when it's like, oh, let's add this and let's add that. It's like that was in Lord of the Rings. Let's put it in here. I'm like, no.
Well, see, that's my problem with the Rings of Power is like there's too much artistic licensing on that because there's not really the source material is there, but it's not there. There's no dialogue. It's just story. You know, and but what they did doesn't even happen in the Silmarillion or anything. None of that happened. So it's just them making up something, and it's something that would probably make Tolkien roll in his grave too if they end up doing with it. But you know, so it's whatever. If they can correct if they can correct it a little bit and make it a little better, it might be interesting. But it just wasn't that great to me what they did with it, you know. So we'll see.
I can appreciate
that's my opinion. It's nobody else's. If people like it, they like it. If they don't, you don't. You know.
I mean, yeah, it's quite a biased TV show. A lot of people love it. A lot of people hate it. It's like I feel like there's no like middle ground. It's either like you love it or you hate it, and like there's just like so many things these days. It's like just a constant battleground.
It's intensified. This kind of goes into Sydney's question here as well. She was asking, do you think that film criticism is dying out? I mean, I was going to ask you kind of what do you mean about that film criticism? Is you talking about professional critics, or are you talking about current day criticism of things going on, like with, kind of politically motivated criticism? I don't really, it's a very broad, could be a very broad question. Yeah. But in terms of like the internet goes, no, absolutely not. Everybody's got their own opinion about everything. And, it's kind of why we're here, sort of. I try not to be a super critical channel, but ultimately you have different personalities who have their own opinions.
Yeah, I don't think you could be just a solo independent film critic anymore, because I mean, you're criticizing either Disney or Disney. They kind of own everything right now, and it seems like if you criticize them, then you're going to lose out on early access or interviews. It seems like they've kind of, all these studios, they've kind of got their fingers around everybody. So if you say anything negative, they're just not going to give you the free pass for the next big blockbuster. And so you kind of have to, like, I mean, I follow some people that I guess you can consider critics, but they kind of say something, then they'll quickly say something good about it. You know, they don't, I have yet to see like a legitimate person have like a hard review over a movie in a long time. It's always like it could have been better, but it was pretty good, you know. They just always try to save their own ass at the end of the conversation, just so they can be like, I still want that free gift bag, Disney or whoever it is, you know. It's gotten like that. So I think online or here, as long as you're not getting free stuff from these studios, then you can criticize all you want to. But as soon as you start getting that free stuff, as soon as you criticize, it's gone again. So it's
the only two that I really cared about was Siskel and Ebert, and I think after they passed away, because they could make or break your weekend.
Yeah,
you know,
they could,
whether you liked it. Because Lauren, I don't know if you're too young for that or not. Siskel and Ebert were like really popular in the 70s and especially the 80s. And they would go on and they would make the Johnny Carson, Jay Leno, David Letterman. And I remember it's actually on the YouTube. I'll send it to you, Lauren, that basically Roger Ebert said to Chevy Chase's face that I think Funny Farm is an unfunny piece of crap.
Yeah.
Like literally right to his face on the couch. And he goes, and Chevy Chase kind of like laughed it off, but he said, well, at least I made a movie. And then Roger Ebert came back and said, yeah, but I wrote Valley of the Dolls or whatever movie he did. And Chevy Chase didn't know what to say after that kind of thing. But it was like, I don't think you have these, like you'll get like these people that get like, I see a couple like blue tubers that get like screenings for movies. Mm-hmm. And they'll just go on and like Jody said, they'll kiss their ass because they want to go back to that screening again for Fox or Disney or Sony, you know, because, you know, even though that this movie might not be good, but I want to see the next one from your company.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I can appreciate that. I feel like just like being amongst like the like horror movie or just like movie, like YouTuber, Instagram, like content creators, like you constantly come across people like that still. It's like, oh, this movie's super good. And then you go see it, and it's like, no, it wasn't bad, but why were you promoting it that hard? Oh, it's because you got the free like box set that somebody sent you. So that's unfortunate. I remember. Are you guys familiar with the video game The Last of Us?
Yeah.
So part 2, you familiar with it? Yeah. I saw a lot of people like giving it praise, and anyone that had the audacity to be like, I've got a few qualms, like they were struck down like immediately. So like the fact that you don't have free speech when it comes to like critiques, what film or video game or otherwise, like that's where I feel like we are starting to struggle with that. But when I always try to be positive when I come to like my own reviews and stuff like that, even if it's a movie that I don't like, I really try to find like, okay, like I didn't like 95% of over here, but I liked this part. So like,
or a performance, you know, or somebody that was really good in the movie.
The script sucked, but this actor was good, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's like people put work and effort into this, so I feel like it's wrong to just completely like shit on it. So it's like, oh, okay, well, performances or like this dialogue right here or the set design and the costumes and stuff like that, like you got to find something, you know. And that's personally how I approach things, especially if it's a film or game or what have you that I'm not a big fan of. It's like, well, there is something to appreciate, and people put months into this, so I can't just act like it was nothing. Like, people put time and effort into this, so I do try to like look at the bright side of things, but at the same time, I don't try to gloss over if I don't like something. It's like, well,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you and make you think that it's just the best thing under the sun when it's not. But at the same time, like I try to look at it in the best light,
Absolutely. Yeah, I kind of talked about it last week. I kind of fell into a hole for a while watching. Like I like Nerdrotic, and I like and I used to watch Friday Night Tots a lot. But they're, and I agree with them with a lot of the Disney things and like that. But their opinions kind of, I think they make money from being negative about those particular subjects, and it's fine when it comes. But then it kind of overlaps with other movies that are good, and then like some of the other people on the panel, they don't have really much of an opinion on movies. Like one guy was talking about, somebody mentioned film noir, and they're like, "Oh, those are just boring." It's like, are you guys movie people, or are you what? What are you guys doing? And one of the other guys has like some kind of movie title, but the only thing he does is talk about. If you go to his channel, all he talks about are like the box office, how much the box office has brought in that week, that, and it's like, I don't doubt that you like movies, but you don't review them or anything,
Also,
so it's really weird.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I feel like there are a lot of really great movies that, didn't do well in the box office at the time, but now are like essentially cult classics. So if we're just focusing on that, I think that I'll just say I think it's freaking stupid.
Yeah. I'm trying to think that there was one, I can't remember if it was Siskel or Ebert. There was a comedy. God, I can't remember what it was, but he's like, it's notorious that he just like tore it to shreds. And then years later, he was like, I think, you know what? It was Ace Ventura.
It was Ace Ventura. I was just thinking that.
Yeah. It just hit me as I was thinking about it. Yeah, he saw it and he freaking just did not get it and tore it to shreds. And then I guess it was probably around the time, I don't know if it was when it came around to come out.
I think when Mask came out.
Was that? So it was next. So I think he went back and once he got the humor, because I mean Ace Ventura was out of left field in so many different ways. Yeah. And he eventually reversed course and went back and was like, listen, I was wrong. It's actually pretty freaking funny. But yeah.
Yeah. I read recently that Rocky Horror Picture Show was another one of those where like it was not received when it first came out, but now it's like one of the most beloved things that, like, I mean, I guess horror, like goth, like whatever you want to categorize the people that love Rocky Horror, they just love it so much, myself included. So
yeah, the most notable one was It's a Wonderful Life. I totally bombed at the box office.
Really? I didn't know that.
And plus, it came out during the summer.
Well, that's dumb.
So
that's just not good marketing.
And basically, what happened was the studio owed Capra a favor, and they put it out at Christmas time that year, and it just blew up with everybody. And that was like the most notorious one that I can remember.
Probably got its following from being on television.
Yeah,
because it was probably one that they pretty much immediately put on television.
Yeah, I think that was like one of the first public domain ones that were like really like huge. Because I remember that was on like every day, like every night. That and Bells of St. Mary.
If you can remember, what was the very first movie that you watched in elementary school or high school? In school or just in general?
Yeah.
In school, it was always Rudy. I don't know why.
Really?
Every time there was a substitute or the teacher was sick, they'd roll in the TV on the cart and we'd watch Rudy. I swear to God. I think it was the only movie my school owned.
I remember every year we used to watch Sound of Music in the auditorium.
Oh yeah.
I
hate that movie.
I always watched Bill Nye the Science Guy. That was what
that's
was in
cool.
school.
There you go. There you go.
We're learning, we're having laughs, like we're doing it all. So.
I apologize. I cannot remember. I'm sure we watched all kinds of stuff. But I do remember something I did in high school is I had one class where we could bring in stuff. And I remember I brought in Monty Python's Holy Grail. We got about
Oh my God!
Dude, how old were you?
Yes.
in high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
And
fantastic.
I had it on VHS and I brought it in and we got about probably a third of the way through it and we had to take it out.
Teacher's like, wait a minute.
Here's Butter Scratch.
I remember
That
in first grade it was like sort of like show and tell kind of thing, and you could bring in a record or an 8-track. I'm old, so it was like one kid brought in. It was my buddy Mike. He brought in "Bat Out of Hell" from Meatloaf, and he's like, "Hey, let's listen to that." And teacher's like, "That is inappropriate,"
That's hilarious. Love that.
Alex Hayes said Ferngully.
Oh, Ferngully.
I don't know. My memory's so bad for stuff like that.
That's an animated movie, John.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Not that.
I'm teasing
Not
you.
Ferngully. My mind's so I can't remember what movies I watched in high school. I can't really remember. I do remember. God, I have it over here. I can't remember if it's a Disney movie or not, but it's. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of it right now, but I remember
We didn't
watching
watch
it
that
at the
many.
public library,
Watched that
probably on
movie
film.
in high school.
There are a lot of Disney and Pixar movies that I definitely watched like early on, but I also got to experience like Princess Bride and stuff like that. Like
that's a
Shrek
good one.
when I was a teenager, like as that started coming out. Like, so I feel like that question is very complicated to answer for anyone because it's like, what was the one first movie? There are a lot. But yeah,
I'm sure we watched stuff in kindergarten and think of stuff that I definitely can't remember.
you can't even remember exactly.
Yeah. I remember one teacher she had got a bunch of, or he or she, I can't remember, got a bunch of the Disney movies at the time. I don't know if they'd been released on VHS or what, but I remember watching some of the classic, a lot of the classic, like the Apple Dumpling Gang, stuff like that. I remember watching those, like those, like the 60s and early 70s era stuff.
Hot Lead and Cold Feet. I like all those classic Disney ones that they don't really show that much anymore.
What did you guys think of the Three Stooges movie that came out probably about 10 years ago? Was it 10 years?
I liked it.
I did too. There's a channel that I've been following lately, and he just does general movie reviews on stuff. And I think it was on a video he did on flops, movies that flopped, but he didn't seem like he liked it too much, which is fine. But I don't know how old the guy was doing it. If I thought being somebody that watched, like probably me and you especially, somebody that watched a lot of Three Stooges growing up, I thought it kind of hit the right beats and the actors did a pretty good job. Personally speaking.
Well, I haven't seen it, so I'll let you guys discuss, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
I remember thinking the actors pretty much nailed him.
Yeah, I liked it. Because there was one, like they like work at an orphanage or something, and they had to save the orphanage by going out in the real world and trying to raise the money, get jobs or something like that. And one of the kids, his name there's Weezer and Peezer, and I thought and that's like a throwback to like an old like a name either in like Our Gang or like one of those old shows like that. And I was like, wow, they like somebody actually watched some old stuff to see this.
Wasn't the priest Larry David?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then one of the nuns was Sofia Vergara.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And one of them was what was that? What was that one? What was that one model that was super popular? Kate something.
Oh,
What was her?
Kate Upton.
Yeah,
Oh,
she was one of the nuns.
Yeah, that's a good one, Lauren. You gotta see if you can track that one down.
What's the name of it?
The Three Stooges.
Okay.
It's by the Farrelly brothers that did
Got it.
like something about Mary and stuff like that.
Sounds good.
So
I think
it's cute.
I'm familiar with like, wasn't it a show, right? Like I've seen clips and stuff.
Oh yeah, old
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
black and white and color.
Yeah, exactly. The
Yeah.
black and white. I've seen that, but I haven't seen the movie. So
Larry, Curly, and Moe. And well, why am I thinking? Why am I
Shemp.
forgetting? Shemp. Yeah, technically Shemp's the original. That's why a lot of people always criticize Shemp, and Shemp was actually the original. He was one of the original three in the vaudeville era. I don't know if he was ever he was came in later, but he's one of the vaudeville Three Stooges, the original Three Stooges, and then they replaced him. He didn't want to make the movie shorts. I don't think at first, and then he came in later.
Mm.
But Shemp and Larry, or Shemp and Moe, were brothers. That's correct. Moe Howard and Shemp Howard. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Larry's right here from Philadelphia. Born
Yeah.
right here in Philly. They have a mural on one of the blocks of buildings, just of Larry on the side of the wall.
That's cool.
there was a time when I was a substitute teacher. If you had a Spanish, what? There was a time when I was a substitute teacher. If you had a Spanish class, you would watch Selena.
I guess that makes sense. That plays.
I've never watched that one.
Lord of the Flies.
What a place.
Oh,
Nice.
oh, I read that book before watching the movie, or I think it was a movie, right? The book is so good.
Yeah.
It's so harrowing. I love that book so much.
Yeah.
Just like the fact that humans can turn on each other so quickly is it's very 28 Days Later, you know, like it's like you immediately become like it's me or you kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's very, very interesting. I read that when I was like, what, 15? It's like that was one of my introductions to the way life is.
Now, Lauren, did you guys ever read the Outsiders?
Yeah, I read that.
Okay.
Mhm.
Because that was like one of it was like Lord of the Flies. That was like, I think, my freshman year, and then sophomore year was the Outsiders,
Mhm.
and then Grapes of Wrath,
Yeah,
And-
that one too.
and the one that they always try to ban. What's the one that that was my senior year book that we had to do a thesis on. The one. It's like a really well known book, and I can't think of it now. That like they always try to ban.
Got it.
Darn it,
I
I
probably
can't
read it
remember.
with you. I'm not able.
Yeah.
Can't
Yeah.
think of it.
But the cool thing was our sophomore year we read The Outsiders, and then they
Mhm.
had a big like grand premiere in Philly for us, and we actually talked to the director of it. That's pretty darn popular, and one of the writers, and
Oh, that's
like
cool.
all the schools from like South Jersey went to that.
Oh, that's cool. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad you had that. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting. A couple of my friends, like, they begged out because there was an arcade right down the street, right in Center City. So they went and played Pac-Man and all that stuff. But I thought it was really interesting, to find out like all the details behind it and stuff. I was a nerd like that for all that like book stuff.
Oh yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah.
I read a book where a character that I really loved, I forget the name of the book, but a character that I really loved in this book would carry around like a little handheld dictionary. So for the longest time I had like a little like handheld dictionary, and I would like look things up. It was back before I had a phone, so like you looking things up, and like I'm trying to learn new words. And yeah, so I definitely can appreciate like being a nerd and just like really loving like something that you love. So I totally understand.
Yeah, I think Mr. Dan. I think Shemp wanted to be a serious actor at the time. Whenever they started doing the shorts, I believe that's how it goes. Because if you watch some of those movies in the '30s, he'll show up in little bit parts, but he's literally never in anything serious. He'll just show up for like a scene or two. Because I'm pretty sure he shows up in either the first or second Thin Man movie. I can't remember which one it was, but he shows up in a couple of scenes, and that's about it. But yeah, he wanted. I think at one time he wanted to be a serious actor and kind of break away from the Stooges there for a while. It's kind of like the Marx Brothers, which is the good looking Marx Brothers, the one that was actually like he looked normal. Which
Zappo.
one was he? Zappo, yeah.
Rude.
Yeah.
Well, the
Normal.
other brother was
Yeah.
called Gummo.
Yeah.
I know, but
Zappo.
still, the only good-looking one.
Well,
I'm not even a part of
I'm not
it.
saying the other ones, but the others presented themselves as like he presented himself as like the straight man, and the other guys were kind of like the clowns, almost. Groucho with the mustache and
Chico,
Lepo. Is it Lepo and Chico?
Harpo, Gummo.
Harpo. Excuse me. Yeah. But he wanted to be a serious actor as well. That's because they were originally the 4 Marx Brothers, and then they were the 3 later on after he left. Well, let me. You guys go ahead, and I'm on.
Here's one for you, Lauren. Rosemary's Baby, your thoughts on the movie? I hated it. It's a slow burn movie that doesn't go anywhere.
Ooh.
Can you see what I'm talking about, Lauren? I'm gonna show it to you here. Well, come on. Oh, never mind.
Donald Sutherland?
No, I thought it was bringing up. Had the wrong thing shared.
Okay.
What the hell? Here. This is Zeppo.
Okay.
See what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Like out of the 4, he'd be the one who could be an actual lead man in Hollywood.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, if you got
I'm not saying these other guys are bad looking guys. I mean, I can't criticize anybody. I mean,
yeah,
I'm worth looking at any of these guys, but
I mean,
yeah,
that's what I was about to say. Like, I'm not trying to criticize. Like, I think all of them could make it.
Yeah.
Like, if you got your own lane, might as well.
I don't know that one had some crazy eyes. I'm not sure about that guy. He might.
he's one of the funniest though.
That was
to me, 'cause
terrifying.
he's silent. Yeah, he was the silent one though.
Harpo. Yeah.
Oh, it's time to take pills.
Is it the purge? What the hell is happening right now? What is happening?
It's the pill alarm. I remember that from last week.
I gotta go grab my gun.
Yeah, hurry.
know. I got to bunker down. I wasn't prepared. Okay. But to answer your question earlier, by the way, the Rosemary's Baby question.
Yeah, that was from Sydney, by the way.
Sydney.
Yeah.
I personally really love Rosemary's Baby, and I feel like I have a very wide range of what I consider to be like horror and stuff like that. So like that one is more of a slow burn, and I really enjoy it for the slow burn. And it's very unsettling in a lot of ways. It reminds me of what we've gotten this year, where Immaculate was Sydney Sweeney, and then The First Omen. It's in that same vein, where like you kind of need to sit there with it for a little bit, and then the third act essentially like explodes, and like a bunch of things happen. So I personally really love Rosemary's Baby for that. I also like older movies where just like like the cast, the way that it's filmed, the cinematography, the score, it all just feels like it was in a different era, and I find that incredibly charming. So I personally really love Rosemary's Baby for all of what I just shared, but I understand if someone doesn't like it because it's not fast paced enough or whatever. Like you're told that it's a horror movie, but then it goes too slow. I think that's fair. Not everything is going to be everyone's cup of tea, but
Right.
I personally really love it for what it is. So
Yeah, I can't really do it any justice talking about Rosemary's Baby. I like I really enjoy the director and everything with it. But if you want to, like, I was talking to Kenny earlier about it actually before we came on, because there's a guy I watch. There's a couple of guys I watch on Tuesday nights. One of the guys is Meta Egg, and the other guys is David Charles Platt, and they get really into the esoteric side of. And they've been talking about Rosemary's Baby and kind of the connections with other movies and how it might have connections with other movies made at the same time, and like there's some weird connections between that and 2001: A Space Odyssey, because they essentially were made about the same time, and it's kind of crazy stuff. But he also took Rosemary's Baby and synced it up with John Lennon Yoko Ono album, I think Milk and Honey.
Oh God,
that album, and there's like some connections with that. There's a scene in it where when their music's playing, like they're talking about the baby stroller and the baby stroller, and it syncs up exactly with the baby stroller so there's some weird stuff going on. But if you want to hear like weird things about movies, check those guys out. They're pretty wild.
yeah,
They're part of another channel, Andreas at Zertis. They do a lot of esoteric. They talk a lot of esoterics that I wish I was intelligent enough to talk about myself, but I'm not at that level. Mainly, it's just I'm just not educated in those subject matters enough to get into it, especially when it comes to religions and things like that, because you got to get really heavy into that stuff to talk about that subject matter. So
Hey,
I
like
just wanna-
Lawrence said, just stick to your lane. That's it.
Yeah.
Stick to what you know.
I just want to
it's
be
not
at a
very
part.
much for me.
I want to be in a stage of my life where I get money coming in enough where I can just sit around and try to sync up albums and movies. That sounds very time consuming and just.
He's got a bunch. I haven't went and listened to him yet, but he's got a bunch that he's done. And they try to find weird ways of connecting this stuff together. It's not just the stuff you've heard about, like the Pink Floyd, The Wall, and Wizard of Oz and stuff like that. And
So if you tell
all
us the
kinds of
Taylor
stuff.
Swift album with Encino Man, I'll just like ready to go.
It's shit like that,
Yeah.
If I don't see that on there, I'm not following them. They're not putting in the hard work.
that's hilarious.
I think the guy that does it, he's like a cab driver in LA or something. That's what he does.
I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I should be Ubering so I can have more time on my hands. Damn.
sometimes you would just like to want to go back and just punch out your guidance counselor back then, you know.
I don't even remember what my guidance counselor
did
said I'd be. I
agree.
really don't. I remember being disappointed, but I don't remember what they said.
I think the 4 years of high school, I think I seen that guy once. That was it. I was like, what does this dude do? You know?
What is your job? What is your entire job?
It's to make you feel bad as a student.
Exactly.
You're not doing enough in your life. I feel like I could do
You
that.
just need to do better. Like,
Yeah, just
how
do better.
so? Just be better.
Mhm.
You just wonder how people get their jobs, you know?
Oh yeah.
Especially,
No. And retain them.
yeah, and make damn
And
good money,
retain them.
you know? It's like you watch it. Like I just read today. I think I posted it in our chat thing. They're going to. I swear to God, they're going to make a remake of Saint Elmo's Fire
Why? With who?
Why?
with the original cast. These
No.
people are 60. Swear to
No.
God. Yes, they're rebooted. I'll send it again. I thought I sent it to you.
No,
to our
I don't
group.
see how. I don't see how any of them would sign on for that. Are they that desperate? They can't be that desperate.
Jody, I just watched this show, and I highly recommend it if you were like obsessed, like in the '80s with like the Brat Pack and stuff like that. But Andrew McCarthy, the
Yeah.
guy, like, basically they took the whole cast from St.
Yep.
Elmo's Fire, basically.
Yeah, yeah. I just
Fucking
watched
Judd
that.
Judd Nelson wouldn't even participate in this
I know.
documentary,
I know.
and then he basically had to pull teeth to get Rob Lowe. They're in the movie with these
Yeah.
guys. It wasn't like, you know, they're talking to me going, hey, I was a big fan of Ali Sheedy back in 1985. Hey, Ali, you want to come talk to me? I mean, there was like, Demi Moore actually sat and talked to him, but he could not get Judd Nelson. Last thing I seen Judd Nelson in was the Jay and Silent Bob movie. What the hell does this guy have to do that he couldn't sit and talk to the guy for 5 minutes?
It ended great though. I love the way it ended with the
Yeah,
phone with the phone ringing and going, Judd.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, are we gonna get a sequel to this documentary? Holy hell!
Yeah, if you were Lauren, if you're a fan of those movies like Breakfast Club, and they do the whole like people like gamut of like the Rat Pack thing. Like,
Yeah.
was Leah Thompson part of the Rat Pack? Was John Cryer part of the Rat Pack? And the guy
My
that I
whole-
was like yelling at was Spader. Why wasn't
Yeah.
Spader included in that?
They kind of get into that in the whole documentary, like
Well-
who is in it, because they all had their kind of their own list. I mainly just wanted to watch it to see the interview with Emilio.
Emilio?
I thought that was I really wish they had more.
No.
Yeah, I really wish they had more with him.
Yeah.
But
Mighty Duck Man.
yeah, but it was kind of sad to see. It seemed like out of all of them, Andrew, who was making it, was affected the most. Like, he took it the hardest, and which is sad because out of all of them, he was hilarious. All the movies he did, I remember thinking, like, especially like, I mean, freaking Weekend at Bernie's. Like, I remember being a kid and watching both of those, and I just remember thinking, where is this guy? Like, why isn't he doing more stuff?
But that was his comeback movie, because if you remember, he did Fresh Horse. This is a geek alert. He did Fresh Horses with Molly, and Molly Ringwald wouldn't even come to the damn reunion.
Yeah, I thought
You
that.
know?
I thought that was stupid. I don't know why she'd be like, no, I'm trying to move past. I'm like, come on, it's 2024 for God's
50s.
sake.
Everybody's and the guy who had the best attitude out of everybody was Rob Lowe.
yeah.
He just reminded me, if you guys watch Parks and Rec, he's basically living that character that he does
Oh,
on
yeah.
Parks and Rec.
Oh yeah, all day, every day.
Like there,
I haven't finished watching it. I started watching it. Sorry, Lauren.
No, it's good. It's really
that
good.
That could have been 3 hours long, and I would have watched every
Yeah.
second of it. I was like that into it. I mean, they talked to Tim Hutton. I'm sorry, Lauren. I cut you off.
Oh, it's okay. I was just gonna say real quick. Like, I've been to a couple conventions, both horror and non, just like basic Comic Cons or like horror cons, and some of these actors like just fully embrace, not in like the, oh, I'm this character, but like they embrace that a lot of fans love them for this certain role, and they just embrace it instead of trying to be like, oh, like, I want to shun that away from my like previous life. And it's like, well, but you are that character. Like,
Yeah.
so like, you don't have to make that your entire identity, but like embracing the fact that you are that character for a lot of people. Like, I think her name is I'm terrible at names, but Heather Grace. She was Kirsty from Hellraiser. Like, she's one of my favorite final girls. And I finally got to meet her like in person in Vegas a couple of months ago, and it just I loved that she like just embraced it. And like, she's her whole self, and she's got obviously her own life and stuff like that, but she also wants to, like embrace like what she's done and like meet fans that really care about her character and stuff like that. And I feel like that's a really good balance of the two, instead of
Yeah.
it's either I'm all in or I'm all out. And it's like we can dabble. We can do a little bit of both. So
It was
that's all.
definitely it was a weird time in Hollywood watching that documentary. But I mean, yeah, they should have just rode it. They should have just rode that horse and kept making movies. But it seemed like it was kind of, I guess, it was kind of a 50-50 split. Some of them they wanted to be big actors, and they thought that label was just going to keep them in these buddy comedies for the rest of their career, which I'm sitting there thinking, dude, you would have made millions, and I would have gotten to see a lot more awesome movies. So I don't know what the problem is. But but yeah, it was a very interesting documentary. I was excited. I've been seeing like the trailers and shit. I was so glad it finally dropped. I was on Hulu like 2 weeks ago. I was like, where is this thing? But it's really good.
Yeah, I really really enjoyed that. That was really eye opening how affected those guys were, and I thought it was really interesting. Spoiler alert, John, that Andrew actually sat and talked to the writer of that.
Yeah,
comic.
yeah.
That
Was yeah.
really eye opening. But yeah, I recommend that, Lauren, if you've like the Bachelor Party, Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller, those kind of like
Ooh,
80s movies.
two great movies. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a shame that he passed away, man. I would have loved to have heard like a conversation with John Hughes.
Oh yeah, that would have been awesome.
Just to get in his mind, because if you think about, because I was a teenager at that time when those came out, and I knew every one of those characters. I think that's why those movies live with people in their 50s, because you knew those characters. You went to high school with those kids, and you knew the struggles that they were going through, through that. And I just think his movies are like very, because people will say, oh, a teen, like Siskel and Ebert used to go, a new teen comedy by John Hughes. Dude, if you ever, like, you weren't old at that time. If you were those kids at that time going through those problems and stuff like that, where you don't fit in, you don't know what you're going to do with your life, the peer pressure from your parents, he just, they're really magical movies, and you can sit back now as you're older and just go, oh yeah, I figured that out,
Yeah.
But
the one thing about Siskel and Ebert you were talking about, didn't they? I don't know if Lauren would like them too much, because I'm pretty sure they hated slasher movies. Like, they absolutely panned the slasher movie when it came out in the 80s, like Friday the 13th and stuff like that. And well, probably starting in the late 70s,
I heard a lot of them bombed like early on, like when they first started coming out, and it took a while for the right audience to find them and appreciate like slasher horror movies.
I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't like Friday the 13th the first big hit for like slasher ones? Because I think it would only made like, I think it was like $600,000 it cost to make. So, everything that he made over $1 million was like really, but I just remember that being like, we used to have Friday and Saturday nights. We used to go to the movies, to midnight showings, man. And we never got out of there till like 3:00 in the morning, because we would go see like Witchboard, or, like you said, Rocky. That was the first time I ever seen Rocky Horror, was in a theater. And I'm like, turn to my friend, and I said, why the hell is everybody dressed up? You know? and they're like throwing toilet paper, and stuff like that. I had no idea.
And fishnets is like, what the hell is going on over here?
Yeah, because it was just like, because I turned to my friend Steph. I said, "What the hell am I in for?" And she goes, "Oh, just sit back and watch.
Just lay back."
I'm just like, what the hell is going on? Because I had no idea. I just thought it was a scary movie.
Oh, funny.
Like at that time, like we used to go see like Deadly Friend was another one that we went to see. All the the 80s, like that's where I seen Waxworks. I seen a midnight showing of Waxworks.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just how critics are. I keep talking over you, Lauren.
Oh, it's okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was kind of answering Mr. Dan here, but yeah, a little bit. But that's the thing about critics. I mean, they like what they like, and their opinion's their opinion. They just don't. That's what sucks. That's what's crazy. Everybody has their own opinion. You just kind of got to like what you like. And
yeah.
Sometimes I forget that when I get into stuff. But I mean, there is seriously stuff that's bad. That's going to be universally bad with any audience. And I don't care for some of that stuff, but even some of that stuff, people like sometimes.
Yeah, and that's. I love that you brought that up because that's what I said kind of earlier, where like everything is subjective. Like your favorite movie could be my least favorite movie, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to try to take that away from you, Like, I personally don't understand Malignant at all. It's just a movie that I've watched it 3 times. I've really tried to understand it. It's just not for me. It just doesn't hit. But a lot of people love it. I'm like, I'm glad that you love it. It's not for me. But I'm so happy that you love it. Like, someone has to love it. And then again, like, people put time and effort into it. So I'm glad that you like it. It's just not for me. And then the same thing with me, where it's like I could list my top 3 favorite like comfort horror movies, and people would be like, "Oh, well, I hate those movies." I'm like, "Okay, well, then it's not for you." I feel like, and I'm sure you guys experience the same thing, like being in like the movie, social media kind of community, where you occasionally come across somebody that wants to let you know that they hate the movie that you said that you like. I'm like, okay, well, it's not for you then. That should be okay. like it's not like this movie's bad. I'm like, you dislike the movie, and that's okay. But the movie is not bad because I just stated that it's one of my favorite movies. So it's not bad, period. You dislike this movie, and that's okay. Like, just reword that a little bit there, babe. Like, it bothers me so much whenever people try to state their opinion as fact. And that is one of the things that I think I get the most annoyed about being in like the movie online community.
Well, people. Yeah, well, like I was saying last week, people are brave when they're anonymous,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It's like the Michael. It's like the Mike Tyson quote, where it's like, you guys are getting real brave, talking shenanigans without someone punching you in the face, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like that. Or it's like, your opinion's stupid. And I'm like, say that to my face. Like,
yeah.
It makes me think about, if you guys know Mulan at all, like the one part where Mushu like, say that to my face, you limp ass noodle. That is in my head all the time.
Well, and we're seeing that come out in society now. This whole online behavior where people are so influenced by their online life, because everybody's just living constantly online. All of us are have become susceptible to it because that's where everything is.
Yeah.
So you're seeing that. I think that's the problem, where everything's got so polarized. It's part of it, politically and everything. Everything's so polarized these days, and it's just because just the way that the internet's caused it to be. It allows you to be very brave and say what you want, and so this is starting to come out in society
Oh
at
yeah.
large. So yeah.
If I may share, this isn't movie topic, but I'll just say real quick. I watched a video where, like how like the kids kind of do like prank videos and stuff, and like post it online, and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
there's this one that I ended up watching where like this like muscle builder. He's in the gym. He's like a freaking tank.
I
And
seen
they're
that
like,
one.
There's like, I want to take your hat. And then he's like, give me my hat back. And then he goes to give his hat back and he just does a quick little pop. He just smacks him on the side of the face. It's not like a roundhouse or anything like it. It was just like don't ever do that again. And then
I
he's
seen
like,
that video, and I was hoping he would have done it to the friend that was egging him on beside him too.
who was recording or anyway, but it was just so funny because it was like the smack was like, don't ever do that again. Like, and he's like,
Apparently-
really, bro? Really, bro?
apparently-
It's like, yeah,
apparently-
really, bro.
Apparently, that guy is like the biggest Fortnite champion in the world or something like that. Little smart ass little kid.
my.
Oh,
wow.
okay.
Yeah, I
Wow.
didn't know. And the dude's built like a brick shit house, man. He just like slapped him.
He
You
just,
know?
he just did a little pop to the face. He's just like, don't ever do that again. And then the way that the guy that took the hat was like, oh, really? Really, bro? It's like, yeah, really, bro?
And
Yeah.
at the end, he's going like this. Okay, you guys can cut.
But his
think we're
friend
done here.
doesn't. That's part of what's so funny.
No!
Like, you can
That's why I
stop.
say he just slapped it.
The friend's
I'll,
like,
I'll
no,
find
we're-
that and I'll send it to you, Jody, so you can see.
We're-
That-
We're gonna keep rolling and see what happens next. But yeah, so long story short, I think of that kind of stuff where it's like, oh yeah, like the internet has ruined a lot of people and not understanding that like you could get menaced in real life if you try to do that to people. It's like,
Going
oh,
back to
I
what
can
you
say
said,
whatever I
Lauren,
want. Sorry,
didn't
go.
a kid- no, going back to what you said, didn't a kid get slapped on the plane by Tyson?
Yeah, I think
like a
so.
couple months ago, yeah. He said something, he got into his face or something, and Tyson just slapped him right in the face.
You don't fuck with Tyson.
Yeah. Everybody should just know that.
You
That
should
was
know
like-
that by now. Have you watched The Hangover? Do not mess with Tyson.
You know, it's funny you say that because I just seen there was some YouTuber had on there that Tyson actually sued the people that did The Hangover because Ed Helms had a tattoo on his face.
Oh no.
I don't think it was Michael. I think it was the artist. It was the tattoo artist.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
That's
that's
what I'm
why,
saying,
like,
I
on
know.
some of the covers of it, you'll see the tattoo, and then on some of them, they took it
Yeah.
off because of the lawsuit.
Mm.
Yeah. I think that was the artist himself. I think
Oh,
there's some
okay.
sort of copyright bullshit. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that was my design. I was like, okay, man, it's a
That's-
face tattoo.
That's stupid. I'm sorry. You already gave it away and put it on someone else's body. Like,
Yeah, for
you know,
real.
copyright something that is already gone. Like, okay. but
He
yeah,
was asking, do we like Unbreakable? What's your thoughts on Unbreakable?
Oh, I love that movie.
Sorry.
I love
Yeah,
that.
me too.
Yeah.
Probably one of my favorite Shyamalan movies.
Shyamalan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought. I just thought it was great because I think that was probably like our first like. Speaking of slow burns, slow burn. You got the backstory of a superhero. I thought that was really cool.
yeah, that's the Bruce Willis like
Yeah,
comeuppance and
yeah.
he needs
And
glass
then-
and all that kind of stuff.
And then just to add on to that, the big reveal at the end of Split, like the fact that we just got done watching the backstory of a villain, and it's in the same universe. I think that was probably the end of Split was probably the biggest holy shit moment since The Sixth Sense for
I
Shyamalan.
know, right? That was
Yeah.
so cool.
It was cool. I'm still kind of I'm still kind of a hit and miss when it comes to what was the third one called? Shit.
Glass.
Glass.
Last,
I'm
right?
still kind of like
Yeah.
it was. I mean, it was all right, but I feel like it could have been so much better.
I
Yeah.
And
I wanted Glass to be better than what
Yeah.
it was. I'm glad that we got it. You
Yeah.
know? And like you mentioned, like the big like holy hell kind of thing at the end of Split was really, really cool.
oh, that was great.
Part of me just wants to accept that there was a good like I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like it's like it could have been better, and I'm just gonna pretend that it was. Like, you know? But I thought that Split was so great,
Yeah.
and Unbreakable was so great. And like M Night really lands when he lands, and then there are times where there's a miss. And I mean, similar. Did you guys watch Watchers recently by chance? It's
Which one?
the movie The Watchers. It's
Oh.
by his daughter's directorial debut. It's in
I haven't
theaters right
seen.
now.
I haven't seen that one. No.
Oh,
Mm.
well, it's another one of those where it's just like I see where you're going for. Like I appreciate like what you're trying to do. It didn't stick the landing, but the fact that you tried is really
Right.
where I'm trying to like hone in on, you know? And I feel like Glass was that a little bit with M Night. Where like he really wanted Unbreakables, Split, and then Glass to be like this really great like trilogy, you know?
Yeah.
Unbreakable was amazing. I thought Split was incredible.
Yeah.
I just felt like Glass, like you were saying, Jody,
Yeah.
like it just felt like it missed the landing a little bit.
It almost just felt like he was just like there almost needed to be 4 movies instead of 3.
Yeah.
There was just so much trying to happen
hmm
in 3. They were just like I feel like you're rushing something. Or it was just I don't know.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I feel
mean-
like you're absolutely right. I feel like a lot of movies, not just that one, like I feel like when they try to do a trilogy, when it's like, oh, we could have actually split those into 2 movies instead of rushing in and making it feel like we're like trying to get to the end. Like we could have actually like taken our time with this section, and then the other movie could have, but you know, budgeting and all that stuff probably was taken into account. But
Does he edit his movies also?
I don't
Not sure.
think
I'm pretty
so.
sure he does. I don't
Or
know.
does he?
At least the early ones, I think. I'm
Well, definitely early ones. I'm sure he probably.
I don't know. Every time I hear Shyamalan, I'm thinking he does it all. I honestly, I could be wrong.
I
It's
will be
usually
even
produced,
more
directed,
impressed.
and written. But it's because I know some of the like the famous directors, they have like their own editor that comes.
Yeah,
in and
yeah.
it's
It
their-
could, it could be
right.
something like that. Yeah.
and
I-
I just didn't know if-
ChatGPT said yes. He's known to have hands-on approach to his films, including editing.
Oh, okay.
Well, there you go.
I just thought.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's freaking.
Thanks,
cool.
AI.
Huh.
Huh? Yeah. That's how I've been making the pictures for the
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that's
for the
awesome.
artwork. I don't have artistic ability like it, not drawing myself.
Well,
So
enough to work with AI.
yeah. But yeah, I've been using
Wasn't it? That was a
ChatGPT.
compliment.
Yeah, that was kind of going to be the topic tonight. It doesn't matter if we talk about it or not. How I feel about AI and how it's probably going to affect eventually it'll affect the movie industry and
Oh man, I
television industry.
think it's
Because
gonna affect almost everything.
because this is what this is crazy, and this is probably, I have no idea how long this is down the road. It could be 10 years, it could be 50 years. I'm not sure, but think about this. And this is something I've thought about a long time before, AI came out. I thought about, what if you had a technology like here recently, I was talking to Kenny earlier, how I've been watching Green Acres. Green Acres has 6 seasons. What if you had a technology and you were like, I want more seasons of Green Acres, and that's all you had to type into like this AI generator, and it goes and scans all the episodes, and then it generates like 3 new seasons, like 60 episodes from just its AI learning, it studying the characters, studying how it's written, studying. I mean, it's possible that will happen. It's very possible that
they
can
can
happen.
also take the unedited,
Yeah.
like the scenes, and just AI them, like from the original scenes from when they were done in like season 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then just like, add words to it, or
Yeah, it's going to take famous people now, and then the owners of the rights of dead famous people now are going to actually get approached. Can we use your face and your voice at any time we want to ever? And to the people that are dead, that's kind of cool. We can keep some franchises going and stuff like that. But there's some, and I don't know the names of all these, but I was just hearing about it. What's the
from Star Wars?
Well, there's that. But what's the dude that does the Medea movies? What's his name?
Oh, Tyler Perry
Tyler Perry was building this giant production studio,
in Atlanta.
and he stopped
Oh.
because of this new AI that came out, where you just tell it the scene you want, and it'll create the entire thing, and it damn near looks real.
Wow.
So he's like, I don't need all these special things. It's kind of like the big whatever that big wall that they're using for like all the Star Wars movies now, or the shows, where it's just a big wall of screen and the characters just stand in front of it. They have a name for it. I forget what it's called right now, but they debuted it with the Mandalorian. But it's almost just like you don't even need a screen. You just type in what you want the scene to be, and there it is. And yeah, I mean, as a consumer, it sounds awesome. The whole thing. I could be like, hey, give me the Seinfeld reunion.
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Well-
2 minutes later, probably less. Here you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the same time, none of those actors are going to get paid unless they strike some sort of weird deal to be able to monetize that. And so yeah, I mean, it definitely sucks if you're the person in the film or the show or whatever. I don't see how they're going to get a grasp on being able to make money off of that. But there's a lot happening, and it's happening fast.
I brought up ChatGPT here. This is Dolly. This is their image generating program.
Yeah.
And tell me something you would want to see in a picture.
How specific does it have to get?
You can get very specific, I think.
But like in like, so the more specific, of course, the better the picture's going to be. So if
Yeah,
I wanted to see Howard the Duck as the Rocketeer, just pull that out of my ass, and I love it so much already.
That was just on your mind.
whatever this generates, I'm putting it on a T-shirt. I'm going to tell you that right now. Copy and send it to me in an email.
You will
I'm
have to
putting-
wear it 24/7.
And I'm going to wear it every day. I'm going to put it on some tri-blend, so it's going to be nice and comfy. It's going to be my everyday wear around the house shirt on the weekends. Drinking my coffee, eating my donuts.
Oh, you're gonna have to send us photos of
Oh, this better be gorgeous. Holy shit! I love the second one. The second one's it. Yeah.
that. Get that.
Yes.
On your shirt. Do
I
it.
need you to email me that now. I gotta go download this. I gotta go.
Oh my god.
Wow.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful.
That has made me so happy. I'm
Wow.
living vicariously through you. You enjoy your shirt.
Oh man, I want that so bad. Well, this needs. Can somebody email this to Disney? They own the rights to both. Can we just? Can this be the next Disney Plus show? Because I feel like it should
Can we
be.
stop bullshitting around?
Stop dicking around.
Just make this.
Give me this. Shut up.
I can go.
Make one of him flying
Is
now.
it-
I
is
need
there
Howard the
any-
Duck as the Rocketeer flying. Did you get that? Did you save that one at least? Don't. If it rates it, I'm going to be sad if we lose this.
Well, it'll keep track of it. You can
It
go
better.
back up to it in the side.
You better.
But I already saved it.
Oh,
Jody already threatening.
this is a whole new show. Can we just make this the hour-long show?
Yeah,
Like,
let's
we
do that.
we take turns. We'll just take turns, and then next week we'll show up with last week's image on T-shirts. Everybody, and oh, get ready. Oh my God, this is the best
I don't
day of my
know
life
about
so
that.
far.
I might have to completely
Anticipating that.
redo it. Honestly.
But I would love to
Yeah.
see you.
Holy shit, he's riding the rocket. Why is he doing that? He has a rocket pack. Why is he riding a rocket?
Sometimes
Look how
it'll-
aggressive he looks. Like he's
I like
determined.
that. Yeah.
Doesn't
Wow.
make any sense, but
Tremendous.
I love the background. The background's like on point for Rocketeer. That's genius.
hey guys, I gotta refill my water cup, so I'll be right
Okay.
back here in just a minute.
We'll see. But you can go and start. You can start tinkering with it. Editing
Yeah,
it
yeah.
any way you want to. Hope this don't get flagged me. I don't think so. It's generally no.
There's, you know what? I love that one. Look, he's got a tie on. Look at that shit. He's prepared. He's going to work in
Hang on.
style.
Let's see here.
That's tremendous.
This is that first image. Though, that first image was it. I love that. Oh man, I'm getting that. Putting that on a T-shirt now.
My brother does that for like, because I'm in Philadelphia, so it's like the Phillies, the Flyers, the Eagles, and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
he does that. He does that and makes stuff out of that.
Man, I was on a ball on the website called T Public, and I was doing all sorts of awesome movie T-shirts. People were buying them. It was amazing. I don't know if T Public themselves or just somebody turned me in, and they shut my shit down hard.
Wow.
It was a sad day.
I'm just not keying this in right.
Oh, it's fine. You know what? I got all I needed.
Yeah.
I got all I need.
Do you want any of these others, or just that first one?
That first one's where it's at, man. Actually, you can send me the second one. I bet I can edit out that rocket with my photo editor, and then
Well, I'm trying to get it to. Oh, hang on a second.
We miss you, Katie. Katie just said, "Hey guys, sorry I missed the beginning, and sorry that I'm not on the show tonight." That's all right, hon. Get better. We miss you.
get better and submit ideas for images.
Yes, Katie. Did you see this? This is, if you're just joining us, this is Howard the Duck as the Rocketeer.
This is amazing. I feel like this would actually, you know what? This would make us money on TikTok. If we went live on TikTok and just had people join the live and submit, and then we turned around and put them on T-shirts. Holy shit! I just created a business, you guys.
Damn it.
This
I don't-
is
That's
based-
weird. It's usually really good. I don't know why. It's just not.
Come on, Jody, come up with
Oh,
another one.
it got the flame coming out the back, but it's not.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's
Nah, it's go
that's it,
go
that's it.
go back to that first one. That first one's it, man. I love it. We're still on this, Lauren. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's
Uh,
okay.
With this incarnation, there's a flame coming out of it.
Yeah, we're going all out. He's pissed. I love that he's got a tie on now. That's great. He's going to work.
Let's see if I can.
The anticipation's killing me.
I know. I felt like singing the Carly Simon song.
Oh shit! Did the rocket get smaller? I think the rocket got smaller.
The rocket got smaller.
Yeah.
But the
Well,
flame
you
got
can-
bigger. Did you notice that the rocket got smaller?
I like
the flame
that.
in the back got
All right,
bigger.
let's think of some more combos. Let's see. Shit. That was a really good combo.
Revolutionary.
What do I need? You know what? Let's keep with Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck and Back to the Future.
Ooh.
Let's see if it decides to make him Marty or Doc. Lauren, I came up with a business idea while you were gone. What we're going to do is we're going to take this to TikTok. Okay.
Well, actually,
we're going.
Oh,
Well, I'll leave it vague like that and see what it does.
Yeah. Vague is possible. I think vague
but-
makes it funny.
Yeah, because you could do it either way. You could do it Howard the Duck as Marty McFly.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I'm saying?
I want to see what it thinks we're doing. We're going to take this idea to TikTok and then have people join the lives and submit their requests, and then we're going to turn around and put them on T-shirts and sell them. If you like this idea, follow the link to my store. It'll be on a T-shirt tomorrow.
It said it couldn't do it. It says
Why?
it didn't follow our content policy. I don't think so.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Maybe you got to be specific. Howard the Duck in the movie Back to the Future. Hell yeah, there it is. Oh yeah, like that.
If it don't, yeah, it's doing it. It's probably because we're putting him Back to the Future. It's probably copyrighted
Ah,
for some reason.
whatever.
I bet Howard the Duck's in the public domain.
How about
Yeah, you might
Howard
be
the
right.
Duck and Predator?
the damn.
Howard the Duck and Predator.
Well, Howard the Duck.
No.
What else can we put Howard the Duck? Howard the Duck is Batman.
Oh, that would be awesome. That would be tremendous.
I'm looking around. I'm trying to figure out shit. Hang on.
It won't do anything like that. Huh?
Exit out of the whole thing. Let's start over from scratch.
Thanks for getting our hopes up, John.
Oh,
Well,
fuck, John.
You sucked us in, then you just spit us out. I swear to God.
You gave us hope, and you just didn't deliver.
I don't like how it gives you hope for a second. It's like I'm going to work on. Never mind. I'm not.
It's doing that to Batman too. Anything copyrighted.
Howard the Duck is Superman.
That's one of the things that got my TeePublic shut down.
Wow.
Is that it recognizes the Superman and the Batman emblem, so you can't put them on T-shirts. It immediately shuts them down.
Wow.
But what was funny is that I did a Superman one and I ordered it as soon as it went live, and then like less than 24 hours they closed it, but they still shipped my T-shirt. So I have what I wanted.
Very nice.
Technically, I won.
I missed that there.
What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What? Oh shit! Second one.
Second one.
Yeah, the second one. Yeah.
I just did superhero. I just did generic.
That's a
But
giant bird
it's
in the
kind of good
background.
too.
I like it.
And you can change like the stylistic version of it too. You know, if you wanted like that one image I did film noir. You know, and you can
Is
do
this
stuff like
is
that.
this the website, or was this like something that you downloaded on?
No, it's just-
is this like a program?
It's a website, ChatGPT.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been to it on
I'm
my
sure you-
phone,
Yeah.
but I've never done it on the computer before.
Unfortunately, you have to pay for if you want Dolly. They might have just a general image thing, but Dolly's like you have to pay $20 a month to get the premium service. So,
Oh, is that what this is, or is this like the
Yeah.
Free
This
version.
is Dolly. Yeah, this is Dolly.
Boo. Well, if we can make enough money on TikTok, I think it's worth it.
I just
Yeah.
am I too old to find that hilarious making money off of TikTok?
Yeah, I don't get
I
it.
still
I don't get it, but every time I see a video of people showing how much they make,
I don't know how the
it
hell
pisses me
you
off.
do it. Like, and I still call it tiki-taki. I'm like,
Yeah.
tiki-taki. Like, I don't even consider.
I don't
it
even
a
I don't even
serious
have it on my phone.
platform. I wasn't trying to interrupt.
Sorry if we got off on a little tangent. This stuff's kind of fun.
Oh, there's a good one. Goofy as Deadpool.
Oh, I wonder if he'll let us do it.
Yeah, we'll try it, but it probably won't.
Maybe that's how Ryan Reynolds came up with all the Deadpool characters. Is like what is it? Like Princess Bride. He had to cover Princess Bride and all that. Doing this.
Brian
Who
Reynolds
knows?
did not come up with Princess Bride.
No. Remember when he had like all the cool Deadpool covers as like other in other movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are fun.
I was just thinking maybe that's what he
Hmm.
did with this. He got this,
Got it.
and I'm only like 10 years.
Nah, it won't do that.
Oh,
Anything
dude.
copyrighted, especially with
Yeah.
like Howard the Duck is probably public domain. I bet that's why it's letting us get away with that, and everything else has been.
Well, the Rocketeer one was amazing.
Yeah, Rocketeer probably was as well. Yeah,
How about Papa Smurf as Freddy Krueger?
that's all.
That's terrifying just thinking about. I don't know if I need
That
to
was
see
kind
that.
of interesting, though, wasn't it?
I bet they're both public domain. But not public domain.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny that you bring up public domain because that's one of the reasons why Winnie the Pooh, like that Blood and
Yeah.
Honey,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were copyrighted.
able
so.
to
We're
become a thing.
And now we're getting that whole universe. That's going to be amazing.
I think that the first movie was stupid as hell, but I enjoyed the shit out of myself. Like I really enjoyed
That's
it.
the whole point of them.
Yeah.
I can't-
It's supposed to be like character driven or like perfectly like story based.
Who else gonna be in
cool.
that? Who's gonna be in that universe? It's gonna be Winnie the Pooh, Pinocchio, Bambi.
Pinocchio.
Yeah, they're doing a Pinocchio, a horror Pinocchio.
Wow.
Oh.
And
I thought we were talking about oh fuck. What's his name? Oh, I just lost his name. You were saying Pinocchio. I was trying to say like it was like Tigger and oh what,
Eeyore?
no, what's the
Piglet?
little Piglet, thank you.
Piglet.
I lost his name for a second. I was like, I thought you were saying him. I was like, that's not.
No, they're doing like they did one. Did it come out last Christmas? I know that they were doing one for the Grinch. Did it happen, or is it coming out this Christmas?
Yes,
It happened.
yes.
Was it any good,
Okay.
or was
so-
it like poo?
Just give me a second. So it was the same actor as Terrifier.
It's Terrifier. Yeah. I remember
Yeah.
that. I remember that casting announcement. Yeah.
He was the best part. I'll just say that. It was actually quite horrid. Yeah. But he was great in it.
Okay, good.
Katie
we
says
could've-
the guy who plays the clown in Terrifier is going to play Mickey.
Yeah.
Character.
Mickey the Tugboat. They're doing that one.
we could have spent the money on the Grinch and somewhere else and used him as the director, or sorry, the main actor in something else.
Yeah.
But that's what we got, and that's my assessment. Like, you were the best part. I don't know why they made what they did, but they did it. Oh, see, like that's one of the things that people love to really just shit on, like, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. But it's like, well, there at least are some points where it's like, okay, they went to acting class at least once. Like they worked on it. But in that Grinch movie, I was just like, ooh, that's bad. Like, oh, there's a child.
Child, what's up with your hair?
Hi.
The little bit of hair that you have.
Miss or ma'am?
She just came running in here. Da, 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 da.
Little miss.
Da, 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 da. You say hi. Say hello.
Hello, sweetheart.
Daddy, say hi.
Here, you want to hear? Want to hear? Here you go. Say hello.
Hello,
Hello.
sweetheart. Hello, baby.
Hi.
You just gonna stare at him? That's cool.
Daddy, say hi. Very good. This. Hi.
Say, Daddy, the people are staring at me.
I don't like him in the screens.
Ma.
What? More?
Let's.
Yes. Okay, here you go. We're just talking about scary movies. Do you want to watch a scary movie?
Yes, please.
Oh, yes, please. What does she like? What movies do you like, sweetheart?
See, right now I'm just watching a bunch of Elmo.
That's
You
scary.
like Elmo?
That's true, but
You're just in a trance. What are you doing?
No.
No?
Yeah.
No,
What are
you
you
can't hear
doing?
both of them.
No.
I gotta hear. I gotta hear. What? I gotta hear.
the other one. Dad,
You want this one?
you're
Yes.
Here. You want this one?
Yes.
Yes.
you're being selfish, Dad.
There you go. Can you hear?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So what were we talking about?
I don't remember anymore.
I'm trying to remember what they were. What are they? Are they just calling it the Dark Universe? Is that what they're calling it? They released like a poster of like all the characters that are going to be in this thing, and it looks amazing.
Called the naughty
Yeah,
one.
you said it's called the naughty ones. I don't know.
Oh.
He's
Uh-oh.
talking about
You gotta go bed? You gotta go bed.
What's going on now?
Oh, hey! If you're gonna scream, I gotta turn this microphone off. Or you're gonna hurt. No, that's not screaming, but it can get louder.
No.
No. You wanna go night night?
Tell Daddy night night.
Give me night night. Thank you. Give me kisses.
They're supposed to be making a. Have you seen, Kenny? Did you see where they might be making Spaceballs
Go
2?
get your passes.
I seen
Saw
that.
that.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
I don't understand
I'm
how
sorry.
or why.
I'm sorry I said it excitingly, but I'm not excited. for it at all.
I don't. I mean, it would have been funny like 4 years after the original.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what are they gonna do now?
I got
Like
into it
Josh
with somebody
Gad or
on my.
something like that.
Yeah, Josh got. He's involved, but they haven't said like in what way. Like,
He's producing and writing it with Mel Brooks.
why,
no.
Mel?
Well, I got into it with somebody because I have like a blog page on Facebook where I do like pop culture stuff all the time, and I got into with it, and they're like, "Oh, well, why are you crapping on it?" And I'm like, "Dude, did you ever see History of the World Part 2? It wasn't funny." And Mel Brooks was right behind that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, well, you got to give it a break." I'm like, dude, it was a Mel Brooks, you know, the man's 96 years old. You know what I mean?
It's
It's
not
like-
needed.
It's like, why? Just leave it alone. Sometimes you
Yeah.
just don't need these, you know?
Yeah, don't tarnish your legacy by trying to put out some
Yeah.
crap right at the end of your life. You know,
I mean, if somebody
Which
from Hollywood.
he's not going to tarnish his legacy, but for that.
No, but I'm
I
just
mean,
saying is like
Yeah.
say somebody comes up and says, "Hey Mel, let's do Young Frankenstein 2." That's great. Let's go to Katz's Deli and talk about it. You know,
Yeah.
they're not going to do that. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
because like half of his movies were like you couldn't make today because they were so inappropriate. you know, it's like, I mean, because Blazing Saddles. I mean, if you have a copy of that, I highly recommend buying a copy because they are going to cut that up on streaming services.
It's getting another release. It's getting
Is it really?
4K. Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting a 4K.
It's soon, isn't it? Yeah.
I think so. I mean, you can pre-order it now because they're doing a nice edition in Europe that I'm getting, but I know we're getting a 4K. I don't know if we're gonna get a 4K steelbook and all that stuff, but over here at least. But yeah, it's getting a 4K. I don't have it on here when it's coming out, but it's up for pre-order in Europe at least. I don't know if it's up over here yet, but
Lauren, have you ever seen that movie, Blazing Saddles?
No, I haven't.
oh, you're in for a treat.
You're in for a treat. It's so good. It's really good.
It's
I know
inappropriately good.
Yeah.
I'm behind on a lot of things. I actually just rewatched Django and Unchained for the first time recently. So like I'm behind on a couple of things, but
I'm not
Those,
a big.
those two are probably not good to watch together.
Yeah. That's not a.
well, Django Unchained was really good. I would.
I have a hard time with the N word being used a lot, and like I like Tarantino movies.
I was about to say, is that Tarantino as well?
Yeah, and I don't care for like the abashed F word all the time in the movies. I mean, sometimes you can be smart about things and not say that word.
Yeah, no, and I totally appreciate that. I do feel like he is unabashed when it comes to that because he just wants to really give you the experience and he doesn't want to shy away from like what that time period is like. I mean, similar to like From Dusk Till Dawn, like his own character, like trying to like be like predatory. Like it's not comfortable, but that's realistic in some people's worlds. So like you just gotta. It's uncomfortable, and like I do appreciate that he lets you have to like sit in the discomfort a little bit. So I do appreciate that, but I understand like how like the N word and stuff isn't comfy. But I feel like that like leads into the same thing of like what I said about From Dusk Till Dawn, where like it's not comfy for me to see him like hurt women. So
yeah,
it's kind of in the same vein, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah,
that's sort of like have you ever watched 48 Hours with Eddie Murphy?
Yeah.
I don't think I have actually.
Oh, okay. That was his first huge comedy that he broke out with.
Oh, okay.
And basically, it's like a buffet of F words, by both Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy. But it's like at the time when that came out, I was like, man, this is the most funniest movie I've ever seen in my life. But I guess as you get older and you kind of get immune to the F word and stuff, it's just, it's like I can always hear my mom in my head saying,
is it the FU word or the FAGG word?
No, FU.
Okay. Just
a
clarification. I just needed to know.
Jody, do you feel that way too? You've seen 48 Hours, right?
I have seen 48 Hours.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually kind of curious what he's going to do with
Beverly Hills Cop 4.
Beverly Hills Cop 4. Like how
I was thinking
close
the same thing.
How close to those is he going to go? Because he kind of seems more not
chill.
Really. Yeah, chilled out. So I'm kind of curious to see it if he does slip back into that character easily, or if it's kind of a mellowed version.
Well, after he had kids, he kind of went through that. He kind of went through that with.
I was just
a lot of
going to
these
say that.
comedians do. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was like
Yeah, where
after he had kids, he was I mean, because like to my nieces, he's Dr. Doolittle. He's not
Yeah.
Axel Foley, you know.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
Daddy Daycare,
Yeah.
you know. So it's like, yeah, I mean, because I had on probably one of the funniest ever stand-up specials, Delirious, his first HBO
Yeah.
stand-up special. I put that on. I think maybe 5 minutes of that might make TV right now, you know. But I had that on. My nieces were like, "This is Daddy Daycare." I'm like, "Honey, this was way before Daddy Daycare," you know. And they were just like amazed, you know. So
Is it Delirious or is it
see, I get those confused. Raw is the
Raw? Yeah,
purple outfit, but
yeah,
Delirious is the red, like Michael Jackson. That's
Yeah.
where he goes after Michael Jackson and says like, and I didn't even know who the hell Luther Vandross was before he said he's a big Kentucky Fried Chicken eating MFer. You know, I had no idea who the hell Luther Vandross was, and then one of my urban friends said, "Oh yeah, he's a big fat black singer." I'm like, I never even heard of him before, but Eddie Murphy made it a point to, you know, bask in him, you know.
I think he
Speaking
was
of
one of those. You know, he was one of those kind of singers that kind of get you in the mood to. Or
Oh yeah, I seen him in
you
concert
know.
a couple times. I seen him a couple times, but this was like 1983 when I had no idea who the hell Luther Vandross was. You know.
Well, it's him getting a Raw where he does the stand up act for his family, and they're all gathered around, and he ends up doing like the dirty jokes.
Yeah, because what was the Richard Pryor and the Red Fox records he was like raised up on, you know.
Sorry,
we're getting
Lauren,
we're
but
getting
I don't
we're getting a Richard Pryor 4K of one of his stand-up specials. I'm trying to remember which one it was. It's just got, I
Sunset
think
Strip.
yeah, I think so. It's getting a 4K release. I think I just saw it announced yesterday, I think. But I'm pretty sure that was
if you
it.
don't like, I mean, some of that stuff. I mean, that's the thing about speech is like, I understand that maybe not all speech should be free speech. I kind of believe that way because, you know, but because you listen to like Richard Pryor and stuff, and like a new generation's listening to him, and I mean, he was like kind of gay himself, but I mean, he didn't hold back calling people everything.
Well, it's kind of like
he wasn't gay. It's weird. He's like he grew up in a whorehouse.
Yeah.
You know. So it's kind of weird.
Oh, it's kind of like all this fun little trend that's, speaking of TikTok, going on over there right now is after this Eminem song that just dropped, which I don't know if any of y'all have heard the new Eminem song, but for me, it's okay. But there's some lines in there that all these kids nowadays got all offended with, and then people are like, "Have you listened to Eminem before? Like, go back." And so now there's like these reaction videos up of kids going back and listening to like the first record or the second record, and they just cannot believe. It's like, man, y'all don't even know. It used to be fun back in the day. Speaking of stuff that probably should never have gotten made, I got this awesome edition of Song of the South.
Shut up. That's awesome. That is awesome.
This dude on Facebook designed these VHS style slip covers, and he did the whole damn thing, man.
That is awesome.
Isn't that great? I think he only did like 50 of them. I was like, I need to grab one of these before they're all gone.
Cool.
But yeah, this is one of those movies that Disney wishes were never made. But yet you can go to the park and they're still singing Zippity Doo Dah all day long.
Wow.
Which to me is hilarious. But yeah, this guy did an awesome job. He went all out on this thing.
Now, is that Jody? Is that the Laserdisc copy of it?
If I remember his post of it, I think it is. I think he did a transfer. I mean, he's got it listed here at 1080p.
Wow, that's great.
And
Well, I have a copy of it through. I think it was like Stinky Tuna
Yeah,
somebody like that.
they
of
did
those-
one. I think Stinky
I-
Tuna did one. I think what was that? What's the other one? Sloppy
Like-
Seconds did one. I think.
My buddy Joe does it too. That Movies Are USA.
Yeah.
He does them too. But I got my copy in like 1995 on VHS tape, because when I worked at Movies Unlimited, we used to distribute like throughout the world, VHS tapes and stuff. And we had a contingent of in Japan, and we would send this is getting off the bat, wrestling videos because they didn't get like WWF or WCW.
Oh yeah.
So we would trade like the old tape trading in the 90s. So we would tape them wrestling stuff, and they used my buddy Mac. He had a Laserdisc copy of Song of the South, and he goes, "Hey guys, do you guys want to watch Song of the South?" And we're like, "Hell yeah!" So he sent, when we got our box of like movies from Japan, there was like 8 of them for us, that he had made us of VHS tapes. I think I still have it in one of my bins too.
That's
but
awesome.
I haven't played it since like 1996.
There was a time, I'm going to confess this right here on YouTube. If anybody tries to sue me, I'm just joking. There was a time that Harry and the Hendersons and Monster Squad, you couldn't buy them. The DVDs were not made anymore, and they weren't released on Blu-ray yet.
Wow, is that right?
So, and I found them both at a flea market that some dude had recorded off of satellite. So they were pretty good. The resolution on them was great, and he went all out. He did a menu at the opening, everything.
Wow.
And so I bought them from him, and I got them home, and I put them in my computer, and they weren't locked, so I could sit there and just rip them all day long. And then I got on my program I had at the time, and I did an all new slip jacket for it, and I printed the shit out of those and sold the hell out of them on eBay. It was amazing.
That's great.
They paid for Christmas that year. It was great. And the sad thing was, I think April of the next year, they both got released on Blu-ray. I was like, yes, right on time. I still got them around here somewhere. I found them when I was moving. I was like, oh, I remember those. Those were fun. And yes,
Crazy
it
people buy that
was.
stuff too.
Yeah, I know. It was live on the Sunset Strip. My phone's probably gonna. But yeah, it's getting a 4K.
Yeah, that's the one where he talks about. That's after he burned himself with the crack, smoking crack, and he talks about it. Yeah,
talks about being on fire.
Yeah. Do you know Richard Pryor at all, Lauren?
No.
I mean, not
like personally. Like personally.
Yeah, personally.
We're best friends for sure.
She dug up his grave. And, yeah.
I was there in his deathbed.
Yeah. No, but
We've been childhood friends since I've ever known him.
He's like a legend comedian, and very, very dirty comedian, but end up being in all kinds of movies, like The Toy. And,
I was just looking that up to see if it was still available, and it is.
And
I love that movie.
What's another one was big ones like See No Evil, Hear No Evil.
Harlem Nights with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
That was huge.
I've got another movie from the 70s he was in. I can't think of the name of it. I just got it.
Oh, with Sidney Poitier?
No, it's one where he's in the army. He's like a army vet that's coming back, and he
kind of hero.
Yes,
I think some kind of hero.
Yeah, that's it.
How many did he do with Gene Wilder?
I think
he did a NASCAR movie, believe it or not, in the 70s, where he portrayed the only black NASCAR driver at the time in the 70s.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, he did Silver Streak.
Yeah.
Stir Crazy. One of my favorites I love is the deaf and the blind one. Hear No Evil, See No Evil.
Yeah.
And Another You.
Yeah.
I think those were the 4.
They need to do a box set of those. That'd be
Wouldn't that be
amazing.
nice? And you can't find Star Crazy anymore. I'd love to have Star Crazy and Hear No Evil and See No Evil, but it's like ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, apparently the toy's out of print.
Wow,
I-
really? I
I
got
can-
that at a Salvation Army for $2 on Blu-ray.
I need to put that on my hunting list when I'm. You can get a foreign version for $15,
Mm.
but I don't know if it
I
comes
got
with.
some version of it, but I don't know if I ever bought it on Blu-ray or not. I can't remember. I think I did. I took a look.
That
Doesn't-
Lauren, that's a very fun one. The toy with Richard Pryor and
Okay.
Jackie Gleason.
Mhm.
Basically, the son is a spoiled rich kid, and Jackie Gleason hires him to be his toy. Basically,
Ew.
yeah. Like I said, you could. That was a big holiday movie in 1982, not in 2024.
I think he's kind of
Oh.
to be his friend, not so much that But I mean, that's what it's portrayed as. Like he's just another toy for this kid.
Well, I'm
But
not.
yeah.
I'm not 2024 energy, but at the same time, eh.
yeah, yeah, it definitely feels. It feels. Yeah, the Blu-ray was put out in January of 2012, and it is no longer in print.
Oh, but see that kind of nonsense makes me want to see a movie so much harder. It's like that movie's disgusting. It's unable to be watched. I'm like, I'm just scour it out.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
gotta find it. I don't give a flying fuck. I gotta see what you're hiding from. What are you hiding from me?
What are you hiding from me?
You definitely need to see Blazing Saddles. Then
Yeah, you really do.
yes,
That
Blazing
movie's
Saddles.
just.
What year is that
Whew.
from? Is that
73,
Uh,
4.
6.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought it was like 2000s. I'm
Oh,
no.
they'd come after us all
Had
if
it
it
ever
was
been made in
2000s.
2012?
well.
No.
Just don't send them to me. I'm just asking.
No.
They had one of the scenes was in there. They're like the two black guys are like in quicksand, and they're like going under
Yeah.
in the quicksand and stuff. And the cowboy, the boss, just like lassos the train that they're on and let the guys sink down in the quicksand and stuff. It's
Django Unchained, wasn't that like 2009 or something like that? So that's why I was like, oh, yeah. I'm
Well, boys, break's over.
74.
74.
74. Yeah, I highly recommend if you guys haven't seen it on the Netflix, that Remembering Gene Wilder documentary.
Oh, is it out there now?
It is so good, Jody. It is
Oh
so
yeah, I want to
good.
watch that.
What a nice man he was.
I saw it's getting like a physical release too, because I was thinking about buying it.
Kino Lorber.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, everybody, I think you guys about ready to pack it in. As they say.
Oh yeah, we hit the 2-hour mark. That was fast. Of course,
Yeah.
I was
That
30
was
minutes
very
late.
quick.
It's a good conversation, though. Glad that we
Time
had
flies when you're cooking fries.
what?
It's from some fucking movie in the 90s.
That'd be a good movie to make.
What
Some fucking.
fries?
can't rem-
Thank you
I can't
for
remember
that.
what it was. It was some kind of family movie, but it had some big actors in it. But one of the guys, he gets divorced from his wife, and he kind of drops out of life and just starts working at McDonald's.
That's American Beauty.
No, it's not. It's not that one. It's a different one
Oh.
for sure. But somebody goes in a drive-through that knows him, and he's like, "Time flies when he's cooking fries," or something like that. He's getting off work or something like that.
I love it.
You're cracking me up, though. That's funny.
I love it.
I'm sorry, I don't know the name of it. I've not even pursued buying it on physical media because I don't want to see it again. It was just kind of I don't remember, kind of a drama.
Tell you what, next week you will let us know before we get
Okay.
on the live.
I'll try to figure it out. Just remind me. Yes.
I think before next
Absolutely.
week, Lauren, you need to watch Blazing Saddles and come back to us
Yeah.
next Thursday.
Yes.
Yes,
Here you
sir.
go. This
I will
this is
do
the
it.
copy. This is the copy I have. You just need to get on this.
Okay. That's my homework. I promise. I will do it.
Okay.
That right there is pretty racist.
Thank you for showing me.
Yeah, it's cool. For sure.
Lauren,
This is super racist.
I
Let me
wish-
show you.
I wish we had a camera in Lauren's reaction for this because she's going to.
I got photo cards with it. Here you go. We'll go through the photo cards. Here's this
Oh
one.
no, not the photo cards.
Here's this one. All right. Here's this one. I haven't seen these, so I don't know what's coming. And I can't read the text, so it could be bad too.
The Slim Pickens.
Oh, this
That's
was.
Cleavon Little, and on the right is Gene Wilder.
There we go.
I'm just saying a lot of boobies and
You're-
black people.
Yeah. No, it's cool. It's cool. You know what? That could have been the title of the movie too. There you go.
Will they go into on the special, Jody? They go
There you
into the title of the movie
Thank
was called
you.
Black Bart.
You're welcome. Was it really?
Yeah, and and Gene Wilder was literally a last minute casting on that because one of
This
the
character's
guys,
so good.
the guy that was supposed to do it was an old cowboy guy called Gig Young, and apparently his agent said he's
Hell
not ready.
no.
He's not ready. No, he's not ready. No, he already. There's scenes in there that they show on the documentary.
Yeah.
He was in there, especially the scene where he's hanging upside down in the jail cell
Yeah.
with Cleavon Little, and Gig Young puked all over himself because he was just sorry to gross you out, but he was so drunk, and
Okay.
when he went to
Well, okay. Well, that
Mel
makes more
Brooks tell-
sense.
Mel
But
Mel
Yeah.
Brooks tells the
Christ.
story, and he goes he didn't wake up for his call early that
Yeah.
morning. So Mel Brooks got on the phone and go, I know this guy called Gene Wilder, hire him. And he was doing another play with his wife, Mel Brooks' wife. Anne
Yeah, yeah.
Bancroft.
Well,
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Lauren would like Young Frankenstein if you've never seen it. Have you
Oh,
seen
yeah,
Young
you're
Oh
right.
yeah, you like that?
Oh,
It's
that's
a
so
comedy
good.
horror.
Yes,
know,
you.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
comedy horror. It's great.
Yeah, yeah.
Black and white. It's amazing.
To take
Oh,
off of
yeah,
all the
I've heard of
classic
it.
movies.
I unfortunately haven't actually sat down and watched it. I've seen clips though, so
Well, I hope you're writing all this down. And if anything, the past 2 hours,
all
I think
right here. It's all in the noggin.
yeah. I think the lesson that we've learned tonight is don't drink and hang upside down. So I think that's a good
I'm
closing.
sorry about that, but
No.
when
And
you
no
see,
hanging
when you
upside down and vomiting.
Yeah.
We're good on that.
Yeah.
When you,
That's not
when
what
you see the
happened.
documentary, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Fuck's sake.
All right. This was fun, guys.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. It was nice talking to everybody again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for
Hopefully
everybody for
we're-
stopping in.
Doing this next Thursday or something like that.
Yeah. Why not?
Absolutely. Every Thursday when everybody's available.
Yeah. Well,
So,
whenever it's next
absolutely.
available. So.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, thanks for everybody by stopping in and leaving your comments. We appreciate that, and we will talk to you guys next week.
Thank you. Good night, Katie.
Bye.
Feel better.
See ya.
Bye.